Could this be affecting your health? Well, I would say the state of health that the United States and other modernized countries are in probably would say yes. Whenever you eat commercially grown food, you ingest environmental toxins that leave an unhealthy residue in your body. This residue is referred to as your body burden, a chemical legacy that is harmful to your health today and in the future. If you look at the Webster's Dictionary, they say anything or any substance that your body does not recognize as fuel is a toxin. So if your body cannot use it for energy, for nutrients, or anything else, if it's an additive, it doesn't have a process to metabolize it. Therefore, it makes do. When it does that, it can shunt all these chemicals everywhere else. For example, one of the things of high fructose corn syrup. Have you seen the guy on TV carrying around the big beaker of green goo for gout? Do you know we've had this huge insurgence of gout rates in the United States? It's because of high fructose corn syrup. It overwhelms the liver process and it shunts production of uric acid up. And that causes these other issues. But a lot of it's from high fructose corn syrup. Companies will argue that levels of toxins in any one product may not be enough to harm you. However, stop for a moment to consider how layering all of these chemicals one on top of another over time may affect you. By the end of each day, these toxic contaminants often reach a substantial cumulative total. EPA scientists have found that the toxic residues in our daily diet can exceed 500% of the recommended daily maximum, even if each individual exposure is within safe limits. So, again, as we've learned in the skincare business, and they say one particular product doesn't meet the threshold to be dangerous, well, what if you use 17 products a day? What if you eat 30 different food items a day, and each of them has some type of pesticide residue, high fructose corn syrup, mercury poisoning? You have to take the totality of what is going on with your body to understand how harmful this can be. So, it is helpful to consider the analogy, and I love this analogy of the bathtub, because in the bathtub, if you think about that, if the water comes in at a faster rate than it can drain out, and I like to make fun of my daughter here because she's 13 and she has super hair down to her waist. I don't know what it is, but she doesn't feel the need to clean the drain at times. So guess what? We get it back up in the tub. Well, if in this imaginary bathtub, it's your body. Okay, and so if you turn that water on faster than the drain can let it out, what happens? Well, guess what? Your water flows over, and if you have a bathroom upstairs like we do, it comes out into the hallway downstairs, which is never a good thing. In our bodies, when the toxins are entering at a faster rate than the body can process or eliminate, our bodies will overflow. The overflow drain keeps the tub from overflowing. In our bodies, symptoms are the overflow drain. It's very important that we get symptoms so we know what's going on. Studies show that early stages we can experience over 90 warning signs. And if you experience anything like fatigue, foggy thinking, bouts of depression, mood swings, spare tire around the middle, it just goes on and on. Dried, wrinkled skin, you've seen those people. I'm making fun of me looking rode hard and put up wet, and that's kind of what you look like. You just look like you're on your last ride. Dark circles under the eyes or acne, digestive system irregularities, food, sugar, or salt cravings, aches and pains, or stiffness. One of the things I find that goes first from my group is that they start to decrease the pain that they have in their joints. So that's so gratifying when people actually start having less pain. But, symptoms, don't hate them because they're actually a beautiful part of the design of your body. They're your body's unique language, and you really must learn to recognize and respond to them. However, if you answer yes to 3 or more of those issues, it may be time to clean house before toxins overflow and lead to preventable diseases. Some of this stuff, I just look at these diseases, and I know that almost every one of these is a issue with inflammation. And inflammation is preventable if you don't inflame your body. Go figure. It's a pretty simple concept. Don't purposefully inflame your body, and all these things will go away. So if you look at the cardiovascular deaths per year, you've got like 616,000 deaths a year. Cancer, second most common cause, 563,000 deaths a year. Prescription overdose, third leading cause of death, because we've got all these drugs running around to treat other drugs, and they cross over. As a pharmacist, let me tell you something. we call those train wrecks, and we're just, oh, yeesh, here it comes with all the drugs and all the interactions. Then you have stroke, 136,000 deaths a year. Chronic lower respiratory disease, or COPD, 128,000 deaths a year. Diabetes, depression, arthritis, autoimmune. And then you've got the neurological issues. Alzheimer's, ADD, ADHD, autism. Can we say heavy metals? A little link there. So it's no secret these people are commonly treated with medications. And what we say the medications are the mop. So if you have a bathroom upstairs and your daughter doesn't clean the drain and she walks out and talks on the phone and forgets to turn off the water, what happens? You got water pouring over the side. First thing, what would a normal person do? They'd go to that bathtub and they'd absolutely turn off the water and clean the drain. But the modern medical society what will they do? They'll hand you a mop. Start mopping that up. Just start cleaning it up. Leaving the water on, not cleaning the drain. Does that make any logical sense to anyone? It actually goes against all logic for anyone. And so what we call the mop is a medication. So we're going to put a medication and we're going to prescribe something, and we're not going to try and stop the flow or clean the drain. And this is the common cycle we see so many people in, is that they just keep adding the medication and they don't know what makes them feel worse, the disease state or the medication. And so there is substantial evidence showing that poor nutrition is frequently at the core of these issues.